Well, we're going to turn into the town now. The Entertainer is where the old Woolworths used to be. And we got the big old bank, Lloyd's Bank, built of stone mullions, timber framed at the top. But as we turn into the town, there's not many people about, which is good. But across the road, there is the town hall, which is here in front of me. And I'm looking for a plaque. Ah, here it is. In fact, there's more than one plaque. The one I particularly wanted to find was that one. But there's this rather lovely ornate tiled to the memory of Mrs. Stuart Hodgson, born February the 5th 1844 and died September 17th 1907. But this is the Haslemere Town Council, and the traffic goes round either side of the Town Council building. I've got the shot of the swan across the road, and we've got the White Horse, and we've got another bank down the road which used to be Barclays, I think, which is now non-existent, of course. So we're going to cross back over and go down the high street, and got to be careful because the traffic's swooping around the corner. So I'm going to head down through the high street now. And we've got the memorial in the centre of the high street, but I'll give you a better shot of the town hall as we go down. But the earliest record of Haslemere was in 1221 as a Godalming Tithing. The name describes hazel trees standing beside a mere or a lake. The lake does not exist today, but there is a natural spring in West Street which could be its source. So that's another bank across the road that's shut down, and the building between the Swan and the old bank is the Haslemere Comrades Club, with the decorative tiles between the timber framing at the top, which is rather lovely. Haslemere was granted a charter by Richard II in 1394. This right was confirmed by a new charter issued by Elizabeth I in 1596. Today this special status is celebrated with a charter fair held once every 2 years in the High Street. And across the road there you've got a lovely old timber frame building which is right on the corner of West Street. As you can see, it sort of runs right down into West Street itself, so that's rather lovely. Across the road, this rather large building is the Georgian Hotel, which is now closed. Sadly they couldn't find a buyer for it. But up through the high street we've got these splendid buildings. And a lot of the buildings, apart from the windows and that, are all original. But one building that is up here, which I wanted to show you all, is where the Haslemere Museum is, which is quite a famous, well-known museum. You see these lovely buildings across the road. stone and tile hung. In the Victorian era, Haslemere became a fashionable place to live and continues to be a commuter town for London. In July 1855, during the building of the railway, Inspector William Donaldson was beaten to death by drunken navvies. We've got these lovely old buildings here with this beautiful stonework, and I've mentioned in other videos in the past about where little stones are fitted into the mortar, and you find that it's quite a sort of traditional thing around Haslemere. But just over the road we've got this splendid townhouse right on the end of Cobden Lane, and there is a blue plaque up there as well. The townhouse, or the house with its Queen Anne facade, was once owned by General Oglethorpe, founder of the American colony of Georgia. He was also the Member of Parliament from 1722 to 1754, and it is a splendid looking building with its Georgian windows, but absolutely lovely. But just across the road here, this creamy coloured building, that is the museum. But this is one cottage, little small house or small cottage that I've always loved. It's still got everything that's original there, but it's next to the building I've just shown about the stonework. It's charming, absolutely charming. The building I mentioned just now with the rather decorative pointing in the brickwork stonework, it's that one across the road, which is Clark and Gammon, or Clark Gammon Weller. And you can see that it's a beautiful structure. As I wander down, it's all, as I said, it's all original. Across the road there, you've got that timber frame building, which used to be the offices for the Haslemere Herald. So the Haslemere Herald was quite a substantial premises. But all these offices across the road now for let, which is a shame. There's so much empty stuff here in Haslemere now. From the offices to let all the way down the opposite side of the road, there's 5 different premises open all in a row, which is such a shame. But they're not the only ones in the town. There's other ones that are shut as well. So anyway, we're going to press on back down through the town and then into a place called Swan Barn, which is a lovely nature area. And you can see a sign up there, but that's actually pointing in the wrong direction. It's actually directly across the road. Well, we're heading down towards Swan Barn, which is over that way, but we were looking for the Haslemere Well, and it's down this little path here, and there is a plaque on the wall, but there's the well in there, still got water in. See if I can get in a bit closer. But let me just tell you what's on this plaque. And it's the Haslemere Town Well. From medieval times until the late 19th century, this dipping well and pile well in Lower Street were the two principal sources of water for the majority of the town's people. Haslemere's last public water carrier, Hannah Oakford, who died in 1898, charged a penny halfpenny per bucket to deliver water to houses in the town. This water is not suitable for drinking. So that's the Haslemere Town Well. I've got to walk back up these steps. And now we're heading out onto Swan Barn Walk, which is all part of the National Trust. And it's pasture land and fields. There's quite often sheep down here, but it's just lovely. It's a sort of, people describe it as the hidden gem of Haslemere, and this is it, away all across here, stretching right down into the woods beyond. But in the spring and summer it's absolutely charming, lovely place to come. But this time of year it's very, very muddy. But one thing I have noticed today, which really annoys me, is dog walkers put their dog's muck into bags and they just leave them lying everywhere. On my walk yesterday, exactly the same thing happened. But it's just, and sadly the rubbish bins aren't near here, so there's rubbish scattered everywhere. But here we are, just coming down to the gateway into Swan Barn, and it actually says on the board there, Haslemere's hidden gem. And you've got dormice and common blue butterflies and the common spotted orchid. And as I said just now about the woodland, you've got the lovely woodland paths that you can go along. So that's where we're going to go now, down onto the Swan Barn. Another part of Swan Barn is this pond, which is here, and there is a little coot over to the right hand side of that island, and then you've got the meadow here, and there's quite often sheep in here, still part of the National Trust. Can you remember the name of the sheep?
Jacob sheep.
Jacob sheep. That sheep, that's the ones. And that building up there is, I think, a training centre.
Yeah, it's the local head office for the National Trust, the Haslemere branch.
That's it.
And there's a function room, which obviously isn't being used at the moment.
Yeah.
And training, yes.
Yeah. And then just along here, there is a barn, which, although I haven't said that it's not in use at the moment, but I think it is.
No, the function room won't be, but
Oh, yeah, sorry.
yeah, the offices will be, because this is where the rangers have their headquarters.
Yeah, of course the smoke's billowing out the chimney, so something's going on up there. Yes, but as Cynthia said, the function rooms won't be used. But just down here we've got, as you probably saw in that clip there, that you've got machinery in the fields, and then you've got, oh, lovely smell of burning wood. Lovely. Oh, love that. And then we got this here, and there are rangers about, because one of their vehicles, or two of their vehicles, are there. And this gives you more information about the barn and the construction of it. Oh no, that's actually not the barn, it's the building up we've just been looking at, called Speckled Wood. And there's the range of vehicles. we've got to decide where we're going to go, because we were saying just now that the first part of Swan Barn was the worst we'd ever seen it for walking on, and then you've got this lot here, and they've got that fascinating machine there, which is, I think, some sort of a machine for cutting timber. Oops, through the gate. Cynthia's coming in behind me. Whoops. Yeah, I think we will. I wanted to get to have a look at that machine, really.
There's a nice wood if we can get through.
Let me just see if I can pick my way across. Ugh, this muddy bit. Yeah, this is a machine for cutting timber. It's a sawmill, part of a sawmill, a mobile sawmill. And as you can see, they've got planks and that here on the ground and posts, which they've used to, the machine's been used to cut these out of. But just down there is actually a wood charcoal burner just in the trees there. So let's have a look, see what else we can find down this way. And this is where one of the woodland piles would be at some point. They've got piles of wood there ready to go in, but yeah, they're getting ready to burn for charcoal, and it is absolutely chock-a-block with wood, so that's ready to go. But these are the woods that you can all walk through, and it's a lovely walk when it's not so muddy. Well, we crossed the field into that lot, but now we've come to these stone steps which you've got to be careful of. Cynthia's gone on ahead, and just here is a little bridge with, I think, what they would class as a babbling brook, which is running right away down through the woods here, and I'm directly above it, and you see it disappearing down through there. And we've got this huge beech tree, and we've just come up into this woods now. Public footpath sign with 3 directions, and it's all telling you different directions for the Serpent's Trail. And here we are. National Trust, Whitley Copse and Mariners Rue. I ain't got a clue what that word is. And there we go. So which direction we got to go? We are heading up this way, so I've just been instructed. And all around us we've got holly, silver birch, beech, hazel, all manner of trees in amongst this lot. The path's better at the moment, but this is just a lovely walk. Well, we've just come through that awful bit of footpath, trying to pick our way through, but it's impossible. But I think this is a bit of damage by Storm Bella that came through a few days ago. There's a lovely big old beech tree that's come down, although having said that, it's been cut. I've just noticed there's a saw cut.
Because of the damage that this one's done.
Yeah.
This one's fallen. Look.
Yeah,
The beach.
Yeah, that's true, Cynthia. Yeah. Yeah, this one's damaged. You can see it was rotten inside anyway. But yeah, Cynthia said this is an oak tree.
Yeah, you can see up there where the oak trees hit the beech branches.
Oh yeah,
And damaged
split it. Yeah. So yeah, they've had to take the beech down as well, for safety, of course. But when you see these beautiful big old trees, completely flattened, but just look at the size of the tree, of that oak. Very, very old oak tree. But you can see the damage inside it was substantial. But we're going to carry on up this way, and more mud. Well, behind us is a start of the footpath, which goes all the way down through there, and we think this is part of what they call Valewood. So we've done the residential area of Haslemere and around the interesting points that we wanted to find today. So we're actually going to make this the end piece for the video for today. So this will be Kevin and Cynthia, socially distanced as you can see, saying bye-bye, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yes indeed, yeah.